Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I want to talk a little bit about an update that's been going on with my life. I'm going to try to make it brief, although there's kind of a lot of stuff that I haven't really posted about, so we're going to go through them. First things first is I did try the ketamine therapy treatment and I ended up not continuing with it. I did it for about 2 weeks. And for some reason, the medicine was just really causing my fibromyalgia to flare really badly, and I was just in a tremendous amount of pain. I feel like it was going pretty well in the beginning, though. It definitely kind of puts you in that therapeutic mindset, which can be really helpful if you're trying to get into meditating or learning to just kind of regulate your body if you're very anxious all the time, or if you're stuck in very negative, cyclical, self-defeating thoughts. I think it's a really good medication. So if your goal is to do those kinds of things, maybe it would work for you, but it just wasn't worth the physical pain that I was going through anymore. So I did discontinue that. So there's that. Work-wise, I've been struggling pretty bad with my job lately. I've had the same job now for 2 years. The 8th of July was my 2-year anniversary with this company, and it's been a really great experience. The problem is that I'm a manager there, and it's really hard to juggle. And maybe I sound pathetic saying this, but it's really hard to juggle being a manager and overseeing so many aspects of a department when you don't have a lot of support and your main employees have to do their own thing and you're pretty much on your own most of the time. It's a very socially demanding job, and lately I don't know, in the last few years of my life I've just really had a harder and harder time being social and connecting with people, and just feeling like my bucket's full enough to be able to be there for another person in a way that I want to be and that I'm expected to be in a manager position. And it's just been getting harder and harder on me to be in social work in general, and I feel guilty saying this, but I do feel very burnt out. I feel very burnt out. I've been teaching for years. I've done caregiving for a little bit. I was a behavioral specialist. I work with seniors. I've worked with adults with disabilities. I've done a lot of really cool things, and I'm very proud of it, and a majority of my resume is that type of work. And so imagine my surprise when the last few years I've just become really isolated, and I've had a really hard time sorry I say so much, but I've just had a really hard time connecting with people and being able to get outside of my shell and have enough energy to be extroverted in any capacity. So that's just kind of where that's been for me, and so I've been looking for a different job. I've been knowing that this transition needed to happen eventually, but a lot of my identity was kind of attached to being this person that people depended on, being the fun person, being the happy person, being the, when you're an activity director for a senior community, you are the fun person. You're the one who does all the holidays. You're the one that makes the memories, that does really meaningful work. And when you become burnt out from social work, you can't give people your all. And I've finally come to the terms that yes, a lot of my identity comes from my job, which, if that's good or not, I'm not really here to debate that, but I can admit that a lot of my, who I am and is part of my job. You know what I mean? I feel like who I am as a person is important because of the work I do, not necessarily anything else in my life, because there's not really a whole lot in my life to be super proud of, I guess. So a lot of my confidence and identity does come from my job, but I've just kind of realized that I can't be there for people if I can't take care of myself. So I do accept that I need to take a step back and maybe find some other work. and let someone else who isn't burnt out fill that position and be able to provide those people with the care that they need, because that's what they deserve. You know, people deserve the best when it comes from those that they rely on in the healthcare field and social work and all that. You have to really be on top of your game, and that's what those people need. And I just don't feel like I'm doing that anymore. So I've been looking into other jobs. The toughest part is that being a manager, very high stress and it's constant, but you make good money. And I would always joke, I make really good money to suffer the way that I do. And I've never been someone who really craves like having a lot of money and being wealthy. Like, I'm very good at just kind of like going with what I have. Like, what I have feels like enough. I don't really feel the need to spend and do all these things. If it was nice making the money, because if people depended on me or needed something from me, I could do that for them. But even that gets to a point where people know that you've got the money, they're going to come and ask you for it more often, or they're going to assume that you can foot the bill, which I would. But I can see why people say mo money, mo problems, because it was definitely like, it was nice having it and nice not having to worry too much about bills, of course, but it definitely causes like more strain with relationships sometimes. So I'm willing to make less money if it means that I don't have to be as stressed all the time. And I don't know if you can tell from my demeanor, I'm trying to be as positive as I can, but I've just been very, very, very depressed lately. And I don't really say that lightly, because there's always like a level of I don't want to say depression, like sadness, kind of like there's always a level of like apathy that I experience. But I have not been depressed like this in a while. I mean, I'm having a really hard time doing things that used to be super easy. I don't play my games, I don't read my books, I don't crochet. I have so many hobbies that I enjoy, and I just haven't even been doing them lately, because I literally get home from work, I'm mentally exhausted. If I'm like probably crying on the drive home from work, or I've cried at some point during the day, I get home, like I don't want to cook, like I don't really want to even eat anything like substantial. Like I'll, eat candy and Cheetos, but it's like that's not proper meals. So I'm just having a hard time with the eating, and I'm just having a hard time like sleeping, and just feeling really unmotivated. I'm just having a hard time enjoying myself. So I'm actively trying to do the opposite of those things. I have been trying to draw a lot more. I heard someone say the opposite of depression is expression. And so I've been trying to lean into these creative aspects of my life. And drawing is very therapeutic for me, because when I draw, I don't try to make something perfect. I just try to make something. That's like the point of art to me, is to just make something out of nothing. It doesn't necessarily need to be like the fucking Mona Lisa. You know what I mean? Like just make something. Like, remind yourself you're human, because the days just feel like I'm waiting for them to be over, and I don't want my day to just feel like a big long wait, where I wait to get off work, and then I wait for it to be nighttime, and then I wait for work the next day. Like, I don't think anyone wants to live like that. So yeah, sorry that's like a lot of random bullshit and kind of negative. I'm just trying really hard. It's been really tough month, I would say. I mean, it's been a tough few months, but this last month has been especially hard. But I'm just trying to have faith that there's something bigger and better planned, that hopefully one of these jobs that I'm applying for will give me a chance, and I can transition into something a little more like low-key. I don't really want to go into what I've applied to do, but if I get hired for the new job that I really want, the main one that I like really want, we can talk about that in the next video. But yeah, so I'm just really trying to keep it together and do what I need to do. My birthday's coming up this month. I'm excited about that. My birthday's on July 25th, and I'm gonna be 32, and I'm going to the Renaissance Fair, which should be really fun. It is literally on my birthday, which is super badass and obviously meant to be. I mean, I have to go, right? Now I have to go and buy a sword and maybe buy a cool outfit to wear. I'm just kidding. I'm probably not gonna buy a whole outfit. Maybe I could. I just feel like I should save up my money right now if I'm gonna be in between jobs. But yeah, so that should be a good time. Maybe I'll make some videos of that experience and show you guys. If you've never seen a Ren fair, it's pretty cool. But yeah, so I'm probably just gonna end this video here. My new glasses, because my other ones broke a couple weeks ago, so got some new ones. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing all right. Hope you had a great 4th of July. Hopefully you kept all your fingers, and you know, just take it easy. We're almost done with the week. We're almost at the end. We are. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.